This podcast is brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to Your Onion Podcast Show. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Quinten Veerman. Hello, Quinton.
Hi, Stefan. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's a pleasure. With all my guests, I like to just give you the microphone and let us know what your position is, what you do.
Sure. So my name is Quinton. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing of the W Doha and Residences here in Doha. And I've been here since 5 months now.
5 months?
Yeah, only. Freshly new in Doha.
So just go a little bit deeply into what your day-to-day activities would be.
Well, I lead the whole sales and marketing team of our properties. So basically everything which goes from selling the hotel, marketing it, advertising it into the market or international markets is basically my day-to-day. So I have a beautiful team of marketers and a beautiful team of salespeople on the road to actually make people discover the W. So
do you have an actual team or is it just you?
I have an actual team. No, I really have an actual team
okay.
of 10 salespeople working hard for the property,
very good,
the residences and the hotel side. So
okay. All right. Well, let's go back in time.
Let's go.
Where were you born and what did you study?
I was actually born in Amsterdam.
Okay, not a bad place to be born.
Not a bad place to be born. I actually never lived in the Netherlands, so to say. So I was just born there, and I have the nationality, which I lost a few years back due to my mother, who's Belgian.
Okay.
But I traveled quite fast after that. I was born in Amsterdam and then grew up in Yemen. From all places in the world.
So what were your parents doing?
My dad was and is still a surgeon for an American oil company and the Dutch government in a past life.
Okay, so that's why you were in Yemen.
I was there.
Okay, what was it like growing up in Yemen?
Amazing.
Yeah?
It was amazing. I mean, from my 0 up to my 16, living in a complete different, which for me was obviously my normal day-to-day. No, brilliant, beautiful people, beautiful nature, beautiful country.
So it must be quite upsetting when you see what's happening.
It is, of course, very upsetting. I mean, it's never nice to see a country that you love and that you've grown into go a bit to the negative side. But hopefully things will get better and you'll find a solution there. So.
Absolutely. So what were your interests growing up?
Many. I wanted to be a pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, initially I wanted to be a pilot. I've always been passionate by aviation. Starting to get more and more scared of planes these days, but I guess that's growing up and realizing what can go wrong. But no, being a pilot was the initial dream, and then being a doctor was the next one. Okay. Being like that and growing up like the ideal that you see at home.
Yeah.
Started actually studying medicine in Belgium.
And what happened?
After a year and a half, I decided, well, this might not be exactly what I'm looking for. I still had 7 or 8 years to go, so it might be that I wasn't really up to studying. And landed by magic in a hotel during my studies in medicine. And
that was it?
That was it.
That was it in your career into hospitality?
That was it. It just started there. Called me one day.
What was it? What was it that actually, kind of stirred the fire and, this is it. This is for me?
It was totally actually surprising and totally random. I was looking for a student job during my medicine study because my mom always told me, okay, you can go into medicine, but if you stop, you need to go and work. So this gentleman called me out of the blue. It was like, hey, I have a job as a night auditor, so working at night for a beautiful property in Brussels. I was okay, let's go for it. It's some money, let's try it. And did that for 3 months. And my dad said, why don't you go for hospitality studies? And me all excited, hospitality studies, I'm going to be managing hospitals.
Yeah.
that was my first initial thought. And then it was just hotels, and I actually loved it. And I was caring for people, kind of the same as a doctor is, making sure people are happy, which is part of our job today in the hospitality business. So it's still related with people, and I need to be around people. And so it's just got there, started studying hotel management, and there we go.
Yeah. So you studied as well as doing the job?
Exactly. My first year of studies was in the weekends I was working in a hotel, and then during the week I was obviously learning how to manage a hotel. Which was kind of a good thing to actually have the on-hands experience in the hotel business at the same time as what the book is saying, because the book is always saying a lot of nice things.
Yeah.
But the real life is often not exactly how the
No,
book
exactly.
is telling you how it goes.
Yeah.
So,
So you're doing sales and marketing now.
yeah.
What have been your positions until you got to this position? Have you always been into sales and marketing, or have you done various jobs along the way?
I started at the front desk.
Okay.
At the front desk, so as a night manager first. So I was
So you're doing night
nights.
shifts?
Yeah, night shifts, everything which is a lot of accounting related. We don't realize that the night shifts in the hotel actually do exist and have a big responsibility in our business, because they close the day, and they actually do the whole financial piece of closing that day into the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And moved into sales quite fast. Did a last training in Brussels in wedding reservations and events.
Okay.
And at that time, my boss said, "You should come to sales." And I said, "Absolutely not.
Oh, really?
I really do not like this job, and I will never do it." And in the end, I landed.
So did he see something in you?
I guess so.
Yeah, must have done.
I guess so. And so, yeah, that's how it started. Landed in that team and started as a sales manager and grew up slowly into my role today. But so always into sales. And then since 7 years now in sales.
Wow. So do you think you've always been a people's person?
I think so. When I look back and when I look at how I was as a kid, and my mom told me recently, "You've always been around people," compared to my brother, who was always in his toys. So you've always been hanging around grown-ups. Even as a kid, you were just into discussions with people, being outside with people, just talking to random people all over the place.
Yeah.
I guess that's what salespeople do, but
No, absolutely.
I genuinely like to interact with people and get to know who they are, what they like, and I guess that's what made me get into that path of hospitality. At first, I mean, it's a people business.
Absolutely.
We don't deal with Pampers.
But you must have a lot of patience as well.
You have to.
Because I could never be in hospitality. I don't think I would have the patience.
You know, Stefan, we can write, and we all say this as hoteliers, we can write a book
at
the end of our lives about all the things we see in the patients we need to actually interact. Because, you interact with so many different people, nationalities, characters, behaviors, and expectations of clients. So you have some crazy stories about any type of guest that just can ask for something randomly at any moment.
And do you get that training? Do you get that training, when you have to deal with all these types of people? Is there, in the hospitality business, is there proper training for dealing with all types of...
We have very specific trainings, and we have a lot of role plays. But I keep on saying that experience and actually that on the ground, living it is what makes you actually good at it and trains you better. I mean, you can't be trained for a customer, every type of customer. I mean, it's not possible. You will always have that one moment where you're like, what am I going to do now? What is this situation and how am I going to solve it? Because every situation is really difficult and different. You have some, you don't expect them.
But you must get to know yourself as well, because there must be times where, you've been going for the whole day and then you're faced with a situation and you're tired.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to deal with your tiredness as well as the person that you're confronted with. How do you deal with it?
Personally, for myself, I have my little tricks. I mean, I go and walk around the hotel. That's what I do. When I feel that point of no return, when I have to be absolutely away from every single human being around me, otherwise it will be destructive, I just or put my earplugs and listen to some music, try and clear my brain, or just walk around. That's what works for me, and I just walk around, go and see the different teams, say hi to some people, and just clear my mindset of making other people a little bit happier in their day, and just, walking around. But it does happen quite often that you're at that point of you have to be smiling all the time, and you have to be all the time.
Yeah, I don't know how you do
there.
that. The whole smiling thing as well.
I guess it's training. I mean, after 10 years, you get used to it, and you try and make sure that every single customer has a good experience every time he checks in or he walks in. And yeah,
because you are representing the hotel. You are the brand.
You are the brand.
Depending on how you deal with that person or how you greet people is a big thing for people remembering.
It is,
and walking away.
And one of the first things they teach you in hotel management, and that is one of the things I do remember from my courses, And the first day, my teacher, and it was our sales and marketing teacher, he told us, guys, there's one thing you need to remember about the hotel business. You deal with people in front of you, but also with you. I mean, if I come in the morning and I'm in a bad mood, my whole team will be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And they are actually the ones interacting with your customers. If they're in a bad mood, your customer will see it, and so on and so on. So it's really a non-stop motivational environment where you have to make sure everyone is happy, and you have guests in front of you, but you have a team as well.
Yeah, and how do you deal with a team that, you know, sometimes if the team, you can see, you know, there might be one or two that's having a bad day, or they have a issue at home. How do you deal with that?
I make sure I take the time to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a open door policy with Merit, which is great, and our management teams and the director, everyone from the upper management is always open, and we are open for anyone, and the door is always open. But if you take the time to really go and understand what's happening, and you get to understand your teams at some point, you know, okay, something is wrong there. So you try and take the time to go out and just take the people outside and have a coffee, or tea. How's everything? And try and be there before the storm comes up.
Yeah.
And some people might not have the same way of waking up than others. Some are from morning, some are in the afternoon. So you need to make sure that ambience is and that synergy works. Otherwise, if your team doesn't work, I mean, you're not selling bread, you're not selling retail products. I mean, your room that you're not selling today is not going to be there tomorrow anymore.
And do you decide who works where, depending on if they're a morning person or a night person?
It depends how I interact with them.
Yeah.
I know who I will challenge in the morning or who I will challenge more in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't decide how they work or where they work. I mean, most of my salespeople, they have their schedules and their type of businesses as well, which is very different. Some of them are in government, some of them are in international markets. So that's as well what guides them a little bit through their day.
So, where have you worked up to now?
So I started my career in Brussels.
Okay.
As a young salesperson in a different company.
Yeah.
And then moved into the Brussels cluster of Marriott, where we were managing 4 hotels and residences. Stayed there for a couple of years and then was moved to Paris.
Okay,
in
not
2
bad.
properties.
Okay.
So one of our biggest conference hotels in Paris.
So are you fluent in various languages as well?
Fluent in French, Dutch, and English.
Okay.
100%
so it helps.
Obviously that helps. I mean, once you have Dutch, you start having some German on the side.
Yeah.
French helps you a little bit with Spanish and Italian. So I'm kind of good with languages, and I like making mistakes in languages and trying to learn them as much as possible. I mean, Yemen helped me quite a lot in my Arabic skills.
Yeah.
So I do try to pick it up now on a fast pace here in Doha to try and get that back, because that's definitely one of the differentors of a blonde guy with blue eyes.
Oh, absolutely. They would be impressed.
Shooting out some phrases in Arabic in a very good accent. So
you're in Paris?
Paris for 4 years and a half, and then Doha.
Oh, okay.
So I moved in 2 hotels in Paris and on the beautiful Champs-Élysées. Obviously, I had the luxury of working for more than 2 years on the Champs-Élysées itself, which is one of the places in the world everyone wants to go.
Yeah.
And here I am.
So you living in Yemen helped you, move quite easily to Doha?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like home, kind of. I mean, I'm used to it. I'm used to the culture. I'm used to all the different aspects of the business interactions as well. I mean, being in Paris, obviously, our customer base is 50% Middle East driven. So it's not an incognito world. So
great. So you've been here 5 months.
Yep.
So the blockade's already happened. How's the hotel industry, moving forward since the blockade? How's it going?
If you look at the numbers, obviously I wasn't here, and I congratulate all my colleagues who've been through this difficult overnight swap of big demand. But from what I see in the last 5 months, I mean, business is starting to pick up. Qatar is doing a very good job in actually moving a lot of visibility towards the country, and a lot of companies are settling in, some are moving out, but a lot of projects are ongoing. The hotel business is, I would say, steady and growing if we look at the numbers and we look at what the tourism board is sending our way.
Tourism board is doing a fantastic job in really reaching out and making Doha the place to come and visit
Exactly.
and selling it, because before there wasn't much kind of promotion. It kind of it had its neighbours to kind of fill for the hotels, and then when that ended with the blockade, then it had to look further afield, and they've done an amazing job.
They've done an amazing job, and coming from Europe, I can tell you that we see a lot of Qatar advertising, especially in Paris and Brussels, in the airports. And no, they've been doing a very good job. They're still continuing doing so under the great leadership of...
So when you're selling, what are you selling? And obviously rooms, but is it conference rooms, business? What is it? What's on your plate?
Depending on who you talk to on the international market, I would say I'm encouraging my teams, and that's what I do as well, is selling the destination first.
Okay.
I mean, if you're in...
So you're selling Doha, Qatar, as a
destination first abroad, and then obviously the hotel itself. You first have to get people interested in the destination and then work them towards your hotel, which might sound a bit contradictory to a lot of people. Saying, well, you should be selling your hotel, but first the destination.
Yeah.
But then
so what are the aspects of the destination that you're selling? What?
The connections, the easy connections with Qatar Airways. I mean, we have some struggles there as well, obviously, with the reach of the country, but...
No, but it is a stop-off point, isn't it? Exactly. It's like, a lot of people are passing through.
Yeah.
And, are you enticing them to, spend a couple of days before they go on to their onward journey?
That is exactly what we're doing mostly, is the stopovers, people who actually transit through Qatar, people who come for holidays as well to Qatar, who decide to actually discover it as a destination. Everything which is to do in Qatar as well, now the new museums, everything which is around the World Cup starts actually booming. We have a lot of sports coming into to Doha. So everything which is sellable and everything which has rooms attached to it, but not only rooms, we have residences, which is a very important piece of our property as well. We have 153 furnished apartments, which a lot of people don't know about because the W Doha has been and is still a very good place to eat, to go out.
I've always been amazed. I've always been amazed how busy the W compared to all the other hotels. I would say
it is.
The W must be one of the busiest hotels here.
It is, and we have a great chef behind and a great F&B outlets that actually continue and consistently overperform and are well known. So that's definitely helping.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, back to the destinations. So museums. That's increased, which is great. Sports facilities,
amazing.
Because now we've got an extra golf course as well. So that must be. Do you see? What kind of people are you seeing? Yeah, have you seen over the last 5 months a change in the kind of clientele
I wouldn't say in the last 5 months I've seen a big change.
Okay.
I would more say that you have different behaviors starting to pop out and different type of advertisements which are going out that Qatar is not only a business destination. You can also have a lot of fun outdoor activities, like you mentioned, the golf is something which is coming up, and I would say it's not going to come now, but it's going to come towards the 2022 World Cup more and more.
Yeah.
A lot of activities, a lot of outdoor activities. Qatar is positioning itself pretty well abroad to actually be other than just, it's a good leisure destination to come and have fun, enjoy your time, do some sports. You have some beautiful resorts as well in the country. So I would say it's a good combo of everything you need to have for a good stay of a week and just come on holidays.
Yeah, no, absolutely. How do you see... Are you going to be here for the World Cup? Is that the plan?
Inshallah.
Are you going to hold on till the World Cup?
We'll see. I hope so. I'm actually, I told to myself 5 years ago, I need to be in the Middle East for the World Cup. And here we are. So I'm not planning to leave by tomorrow. I want to see how this is going to actually come out. I mean, we have a lot of connections with a lot of people organizing it and telling us how big the event is going to be. So I actually really want to see how this is going to
how does the hotel look forward to that point, with the World Cup? Is it like first come, first serve with bookings, or are people already booking the hotel rooms? How does it work?
It's still quite far, but you have a big influence as well from the organizing committee, obviously, which is sourcing all the hotels and making sure that enough space is there to actually
so will they
space.
Decide,
a very big probability. A very big probability that actually there's going to be a second or a good, I would say, organization behind to make sure everyone has rooms. Are there going to be enough rooms? That is what we'll have to wait and see.
Is there going to be enough rooms?
I can't tell you, but they're building hotels, and a lot of them.
They are.
So
There's a lot of hotels popping up, but also I came across someone that's looking at empty towers as well and converting them into apartments.
Into apartments, yeah. I would imagine. I mean, it's a lot of people when you think about it.
It is a lot of people.
It's going to be a lot of people coming into, and it's the first time it's in the Middle East. It's the first time it's in one single city of this size.
It's going to be amazing.
So I want to see it.
But I want to see it.
I want to see how this is going to unfold, and I want to see all the supporters walking on the corniche and see how that is all going to unfold.
Are you going to cope? Because you're a hotel as well as restaurants as well as other stuff that people can enjoy.
There's no reason why. I mean, we've welcomed, and the city has welcomed some very big events lately. We had the IPU in town, which was fairly big. It's not up to the scale of the 2022, but
yeah.
I mean, I just came from Paris where we had the Euro Cup, and it's actually manageable.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes and how the city can cope with it. But as a hotel itself, it's gonna be our day-to-day job. I mean, we're used to it. We're used to big groups, so we're looking forward to it.
And who are you going to be supporting? Because you're a bit,
Well, I'll wait to see. I'll wait to see what the Dutch team is going to be doing.
You're going to pick and choose.
Let's say that I was born and grew up with the Dutch team in my heart. I mean, the old Dutch team of.
I love the old Dutch team, but they always got to like the semi-finals, and then they just stopped. And
absolutely, then they disappeared for the last few World Cups and Euro Cups.
Do you think they're on the up
They
again?
have a very good team. When you look at the Ajax team, all the young kids growing up. So let's see. But the Belgian team is a little bit better these days. So I think I'll be supporting the Belgians, and hopefully they'll manage it through and then. We'll see how that goes. But they have a very good team. So I'll be between Belgium and Holland.
Okay.
We'll see.
Now, hospitality is long hours.
It is.
How, where do you see yourself moving forward? Is it always going to be hospitality, or are you aiming on running your own, having your own hotel?
The dream.
Are you going to have the stamina to keep up?
The stamina, I think you have to. I mean, I've reached a role which I wouldn't expect reaching before, and I'm really happy where I am. I'm with a great company which believes in people and pushes us up as much as we can. Long hours, but you love what you do. You love what you do in the end.
Oh, no, everyone that I've met in hospitality loves what they do.
And that's, I think, what the hospitality is as well. You see people that will actually do this job by passion. It's not for money, that's for sure. It's not the best paying job in the world.
No, exactly.
Absolutely not. If anyone's listening and wants to make money, don't go into the hospitality business.
But do you think the hospitality business uses that because they have people that are passionate about what they do? And they know that it's not all about money. It's more about passion. I mean, it's like any other job and it's any other business. But the hospitality has people that actually are recruitable afterwards in a lot of different functions. A lot of industries are interested in hospitality people because of that guest service. I mean, I have a lot of old colleagues who are now in banks, for example. Oh, really?
Because they know how to interact with people. We're trained to actually manage people and manage big teams. And so where's
Quinton going to end up?
In the hospitality business, I don't think I would want to do something else, except if I would really take the guts and change and do a pilot course and then become a pilot. But I don't think that's going to happen anywhere tomorrow. But no, managing a hotel, general manager of a hotel, managing a team.
And are there any destinations that you would like to manage the hotels?
No? Not specifically. I think destinations.
You're quite easy.
I'm quite easygoing, and I think I'll go where destiny will take me.
Okay.
I believe in destiny in some of the ways that my career has been going so far. We'll see. Asia, back to Europe, maybe Africa. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, you never know. In the hospitality business, you can be anywhere.
I mean, it took me exactly 1 month from Paris to here, and the whole process was done. So you never know how fast things goes. Asia is booming, so why not? I'll have to take care of my daughter and my wife as well, because they have a big part of that decision, obviously.
Absolutely.
But we'll see. There's no real destination in mind where I'm saying, hey, that's what I want.
One more question before we finish. How's the hospitality industry changing with regards to the environment and, being more green? Is there, because you must go through a lot of, washing and, all that. How have you seen a change with the hospitality industry? Are they, changing?
We're changing a lot. The W Doha is actually the first Green Key hotel in the region. So the Green Key is a certification that hotels get based on a lot of environmental aspects they take or processes they put in place. And there has been a lot of changes in the past years. I mean, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, we would do things very differently. Today, we have specific rain shower heads that actually consume less water. We think about how to spend less on energy and on washing. We have a lot of processes in place in the rooms as well to ask our customers to use their towels maybe twice or hang them if they don't want us to wash them. So we're trying to make sure that the customers help us towards that. But then in the back end, you have a lot of other stuff happening, like the trash, which is separated, recycling, the water spillage, electricity spillage, are a lot of things which are being put in place these days in the hotel business.
That's great. And where you said you got the Green Key?
Yeah.
So what were they marking you on?
A lot of different things. It can go from the water consumption into how we sort our garbage.
Okay.
So for example, in the meeting spaces, we have 3 different garbages. Like in the airports, for example, they would look at these points, they would look at different consumptions and how we actually trace the different environmental aspects. So a lot of points.
Yeah.
It's a very tough audit to go through.
And does it get reviewed every year?
Every year.
Every year.
Every year you have a review. We auto-review it ourselves as well. Marriott has a green policy as well in place where we audit ourselves on how green. We have a green committee as well in the hotel that goes through all those environmental aspects.
Yeah.
So no, a lot of effort put in there to make sure that we're
that's good to
helping
hear.
the planet.
Yeah, for sure.
The consumers.
Nice. Well, thank you, Quinton.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Stefan,
for taking the time.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And I look forward to seeing you at the hotel.
Definitely. Please come in and enjoy your restaurants.
There's many functions that we spend at the hotel, so through QBBF and other functions. So
always happy to see you.
I think I've got the quiz night coming up.
Quiz night, exactly. Yeah. It's coming up. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
You too. Thank you so much, Stefan.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll catch up with you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. This podcast has been brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com.